amazing grade 7 learners. Welcome to another episode of Valenzuela Facebook Live. We are now in part 2 of lesson 3, quarter 4. Today, we are going to have an exciting, interesting journey of learning science again. Are you ready? Yes? Please click the heart reaction to start our discussion. Great! Our most essential learning competency for today is to be able to account for the occurrence of land and sea breezes, monsoons, and intertropical convergence zone or IT. For our learning objectives, at the end of the lesson, you are expected to first, infer the occurrence of weather systems experienced in the country as a result of the Philippines location. Second, describe the effects of difference in temperature and pressure to the movement of air. And lastly, using a map, determine the direction of movement during the different seasons in the From the previous discussion, you have learned about layers of the atmosphere. The major layers of the Earth are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Troposphere is the closest to Earth where all weather occurs. Stratosphere hosts a few clouds and the ozone layer. The lower portion of the stratosphere is nearly isothermal, or a layer of constant temperature, whereas temperatures in its upper levels increase with altitude. Mesosphere, from the word meso means middle, and this is the highest layer of the atmosphere, which the gases are all mixed up rather than being layered by their mass. Mesosphere is too high to aircraft but too low for satellite. Thermosphere hosts the space shuttle and the ozone layer. Thermo means heat, and the temperature in this layer can reach up to 4,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Then, exosphere is the very edge of our atmosphere. This layer separates the rest of the atmosphere from outer space. It's about 6,200 miles. That's almost as wide as Earth itself. And as we proceed with our session, let us start our next topic, the game. We are going to play Word Hunt. All you need to do is to find 12 words related to weather on the grid. Words appear straight across, up and down, and diagonally. Use the comment section to key in your answer. You have 1 minute to find the hidden words. Are you ready? Let us begin. Your time begins now. southwest monsoon, then you are correct. Next is right, temperature. We also have great, northeast monsoon. Did you also found the word dry season? Yes, you are amazing. Another word is sea breeze. Very good. If you also got the word typhoon, then you are correct. Next is great, cyclone. We also have right, land freeze. Did you also found the word El Nino? If yes, you are fantastic. Another word is La Nina. Very good. If you also got the word pressure, you are definitely right. And for our last hidden word is rainy season. You did a great job, learners. You have perfectly found all the correct hidden words. So, here are some important words that we will discuss for today. Northeast monsoon, southwest monsoon, temperature, pressure, dry season, rainy season, cyclone, typhoon, land breeze, sea breeze, El Nino, and La Nina. Okay, we will explore the science behind weather systems in the Philippines. Do you know what weather systems which gravely affecting the Philippines are? Yes, you heard it right. Weather systems definitely affected the Philippines. How? Then, we will answer that for today's session. Are you aware of how many seasons do we have in the Philippines? Then, what are those? You can share your idea using the comment section. The Philippines has only two seasons, dry season and rainy season. But there are climatic variation within those seasons, and it can rain at any time of the year. Do you have any idea why the Philippines have two seasons only? The Philippines is also known as a tropical country. In many tropical and subtropical regions, rainfall varies much more than temperature does. Also, because of the Earth tilts, the direct sun rays, and in turn, the tropical rain belt shifts from the northern to the southern tropics. So, these areas experience just only two seasons, a rainy season and dry season. Dry season is from December to May. The dry season based on Pag-asa is divided into the cool dry season from December to February and the hot dry season from March to May. The Philippines' wet or rainy season is usually from June to November. Now, let us proceed with the weather system in the Philippines. Can you enumerate those weather systems? You can comment your answer. Weather systems in the Philippines include cyclones, geysers, monsoon, and intertropical convergence zone or IT. Do you have any idea what a cyclone is? Cyclone is a large and violent whirlwind observed in different parts of the Earth. It is a system of winds rotating inward to an area of low atmospheric pressure with a counterclockwise northern hemisphere or clockwise southern hemisphere. Tropical areas such as the Philippines use the term tropical cyclones. They are intense circular storms that originate over warm tropical oceans and have maximum sustained wind speeds and heavy rains. Then, how the tropical cyclones form. Let me show you a video. Warm, moist air over the ocean rises upward from near the surface. As this air moves up and away from the ocean surface, it lifts air near the surface. So basically, as the warm air rises, it causes an area of lower air pressure below. Air from surrounding areas within higher pressure pushes in the low pressure area. Then, this new cool air becomes warm and moist and rises too. And the cycle continues. As the warm, moist air rises and cools the water in the air forms clouds, the whole system of clouds and winds thin and grows, fed by the ocean's heat and water evaporating from the ocean surface. As the storm system rotates faster and faster, an eye forms in the center. It is very calm and clear in the eye. Very low air pressure. Higher pressure air from above flows down into the eye. When the winds in the rotating storm reach 63 km per hour, the storm is called a tropical storm. And when the wind speed reaches 119 km per hour, then the storm is officially a tropical cyclone or hurricane. Tropical cyclones usually weaken when they hit land because they are no longer being fed by the energy from the ocean waters. However, they often move far inland, dumping many centimeters of rain and causing lots of wind damage before they die out. We can categorize cyclones based on wind speed. First is tropical depression with 61 km per hour. Next is tropical storm with 62 to 88 km per hour. Then severe tropical storm with 89 to 170 km per hour. And typhoon with 118 km per hour. And because of the effects of Typhoon Yolanda, a new category, Super Typhoon, was coined. It is called Super Typhoon with 220 km per hour. Now, let us move on with the next weather system, which is the breeze. Any idea what is a breeze? Breezes are the result of differences in air temperature. Warm air rises, leaving behind low pressure near the ground. So, as you can observe, temperature and pressure really affect the movement of air. May I know your idea of how does temperature and pressure affect the movement of air? Correct. Temperature changes air pressure, and air pressure can also change with the temperature. Cold air is denser, therefore more pressure. Warm air is less dense, therefore less pressure. Now, can you tell me what the types of the breeze are? Correct. We have sea breeze and land breeze. Let us discuss the sea. In the daytime, warm air rises and the cooler air above the sea moves towards land. For you to understand more, here is the video showing the sea. As the sun rises, the land warms up faster than the water. Thus, this causes the air above the land to also warm up. Warm air is being less dense, expands and rises to leave an area to low pressure. Meanwhile, the air over the ocean is cooler. Cooler, denser air sinks over the water, creating an area of high pressure. The differences in pressure and air temperature create convection currents. Warm air over the land is replaced by cool ocean air. This air is warmed by the land and rises, and the cycle continues. Winds that blow from the sea to the land are called this. Next is the land breeze. Blowing breeze from land towards the sea is called the land breeze. To elaborate more, here is the video that shows the land breeze. At night, the convection current reverses after the sun has set the land more quickly than the water. Therefore, the air above the land also cools down. Cool air, being denser, presses down over the land, creating an area of high pressure. Meanwhile, because water cools down slowly, the air over the ocean is still warm. Warm air, being less dense, expands and rises to leave an area of low pressure over the water. At night, cool air over the land moves towards lower pressure over the ocean. This air is warmed by the water and rises, and the cycle continues. Winds that blow from the land to the sea are called land breezes. How about the next weather system? The monsoon. Do you have any idea? A monsoon is a seasonal change in the direction of the prevailing or strongest winds of the region. Monsoons cause wet and dry seasons throughout much of the province. In the Philippines, amihan is known as the northeast monsoon, while habagat is also known as the southwest monsoon. Amihan is the Filipino term of northeast monsoon, which is a cool and dry northeast wind coming from Siberia and China and blows down to Southeast Asia. This season is characterized by slight to moderate rainfall and a prevailing cold wind that affects the east of the Philippines. The monsoon commonly occurs from October to late March, although currents may vary every year. It attains maximum strength in January and gradually weakens in March and totally disappears. Habagat, on the other hand, is the southwest wind characterized by frequent heavy rainfall and humid weather. During southwest monsoon or hanging habagat, the high pressure area is on the Australian continent and the low pressure area is at North China, Mongolia, and Siberia. The gusty winds from the west and excessive rainfall often turn to dangerous typhoons. The monsoon commonly appears in early May, happens maximum flows during August, it disappears gradually in October, and persists from November to December. Now, let us move forward on the last weather system, which is the Intertropical Convergence Zone. Do you have any idea about this? Intertropical Convergence Zone appears as a band of clouds consisting of showers, with occasional thunderstorms, that encircles the globe near the equator. It is also responsible for the wet and dry seasons in the countries near the equator, such as the Philippines. Intertropical convergence zone moves north in the northern hemisphere during summer and south during the cold season. Have you ever think of the negative effects of these certain weather systems in the Philippines? Use the comment section to share your ideas. Did you know that weather system can cause negative effects like various diseases? El Nino, which causes severe drought, causing the loss of agricultural production, and La Nina events are known to cause disastrous floods. Now, let us check if you learned from our discussion. Let me read the directions to you first. Understand and answer the following questions. Choose the correct answer in the box. Number 1. Large and violent whirlwind observed in different parts of the earth. Number 2. Result of differences in air temperature. Are simply the movement of warm and cold air across the globe. 4. This is a seasonal change in the direction of the prevailing winds of a region. Number 5. Responsible for the wet and dry season in the countries near the equator. The choices in the box are ITCs, or the Intertropical Convergence Zone, breezes, cyclone, weather system, and monsoon. You have 1 minute to answer. Your time begins now. Number 1. Large and violent whirlwind observed in different parts of the earth. The correct answer is cyclone. Number 2. Result of differences in air temperature. If your answer is breezes, you got it right. B. Are simply the movement of warm and cold air across the globe. The answer is weather system. Great. Number 4. A seasonal change in the direction of the prevailing winds of the region. The right answer is monsoon. Very good. And for the last question, responsible for the wet and dry season in the countries near the equator. If your answer is IT, you are definitely correct. Great job, grade 7 learners. I feel glad for your active participation today. It seems like you really understood the discussion. And to summarize the discussion, always keep in mind these important details. The Philippines have a tropical maritime climate the weather is generally hot and quiet. Using the temperature and rainfall as basis, the climate of the country can be divided into two major seasons: the rainy season from June to November and dry season from December to May. Weather system in the Philippines includes cyclone, breezes, monsoon, and intertropical convergence zone. Cyclone is a large-scale atmospheric wind and pressure system characterized by low pressure at its center and by circular wind motion. Cyclone can be categorized based on wind speed. This includes tropical depression with 61 km per hour, tropical storm with 62 to 88 km per hour, severe tropical storm with 89 to 117 km per hour, typhoon with 118 km per hour, and super typhoon with 220 km per hour. Breezes are light wind which appears due to temperature differences between two air masses. Depending on the heat force, the land affects the circulation of the airflow. Two types of breeze are sea breeze and the land breeze. Monsoon is a seasonal change in the direction of the prevailing wind or strongest winds of a region. It includes the northeast monsoon, or what we call the hanging amihan, and the southwest monsoon, which we call the hanging habagat. Intertropical convergence zone is the region that circles the Earth near the equator, where the trade winds of the northern and southern hemisphere comes together. I hope you learned a lot from our discussion for today. At this point, we will now proceed to our question and answer. I will give you 15 seconds to key in your questions on the comment section. Your time begins now. Okay, time is up. So, we got a question from a student in Malinta National High School. Ma'am, what causes weather system? So, weather system on the Earth is caused by heat from the sun and movement of the air. This movement of air is what we call wind. Wind brings changes in the weather, such as clear sunny skies or heavy rain. Moisture or water vapor in the air also affects the weather. So our next question is from a learner of Paso de Blas National High School. Ma'am, what is the advantage of the location of the Philippines in relation to the weather? So the advantage of our climate, weather, and seasons here in the Philippines is a good economy. The climate in our country is typically tropical maritime. So, we experience different weather patterns in different parts of the country, causing different crops and plants to grow. So, thank you to those who asked questions. Other questions will be entertained by your teacher during your follow-up discussion. For your assignment, kindly answer the activities in your Quarter 4 Week 3 Science Learning Packet. It has been a very meaningful and interactive discussion. Thank you for participating and for watching Valenzuela Science Live Stream. Have a great day.